Hello and welcome back to the FPL Tom YouTube channel. In today's video we're going to be covering the best draft ahead of Game Week 4. If you are contemplating potentially hitting that wildcard button, then this is the best video for you, the best guide to help you build the ultimate wildcard ahead of Game Week 4. If you do enjoy the content that you see on the channel, please like, comment and subscribe, as we are trying to hit 500 subs before the end of August. But ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's get into my best Game Week 4 wildcard draft. And to start off our Game Week 4 wildcard, we go for Sanchez in goal, arguably one of the best 4.5 million goalkeepers within the game at the moment. Currently the fourth highest scoring defender in the game as well with 18 points, and Brighton have been absolutely amazing in the first 3 game weeks. They have the second highest XG conceded, only behind Arsenal, and also have the third highest expected clean sheet. So really good stuff from Brighton. Going under the radar, I've not seen many people suggesting bringing in Brighton defenders or Brighton goalkeepers, but their defence is putting up some really positive signs, as they did last year. So it's not just like an early season kind of blip. It is a recurring theme that we're seeing within the data. Up till around Game Week 9, they have some honestly absolutely amazing fixtures. Leeds, Fulham, Leicester, Bournemouth, Crystal Palace, absolutely dripping with clean sheets there. And then after, kind of up till the 12th of November when the season finishes, there is a mixture. They do play Liverpool, Tottenham, Chelsea and Manchester City, but then play some absolutely clean sheet potential fixtures. Nottingham Forest, Brentford, Wolves and Aston Villa. Some very tasty fixtures in there. And with a 4.5 million goalkeeper, you're not too fussed if they don't keep a clean sheet, especially against the big boys. You also do have Danny Ward on the bench within this draft as well, so if you do want to rotate in one of those games, you could easily just put Danny Ward in. But I do believe Sanchez is the best pick. Brighton have amazing defensive data. They're putting up some really good performances as well to go with that, and the fixtures correlate as well. So all good signs for Sanchez in goal. But moving on to the back line, we go to Trent Alexander-Arnold. Now, it hasn't been the best start for Liverpool. I am filming this before the Manchester United game tonight. But yeah, it's not been the best start for Liverpool and for Trent. Obviously, results just haven't gone their way. Neither have performances. Injuries haven't helped that, obviously, massively. But yeah, it's been a difficult start for Liverpool. A lot of people, like myself, went for kind of the Trent and Robbo double up at the back. And yeah, it's just not gone well. But there is some encouraging signs with the Liverpool defence. Third best for expected conceded goals, and that is before playing tonight. So they'll probably drop down to 5th, 6th, unless United absolutely hammer them. Fixtures are good as well. Bournemouth, Newcastle, Everton, Wolves, Chelsea, Brighton. That's kind of up till Game Week 9. After that, it does fall away with a back-to-back really hard double fixture, with Arsenal and Manchester City. But good fixtures again. It is Liverpool as well. I expect the kind of clean sheets to return, and I also expect Trent's assists and goals to return, as he does currently have the third highest expected assists, within FPL at the moment. So he is still putting up that data, which is very encouraging to see, as are Liverpool in terms of their defensive data. I think it's just a multiple kind of variation of things. Injury, Crystal Palace are a very good side as well, and Fulham have started the season really bright as well. So I think injury hasn't helped Liverpool, so I do believe they will get back to their ways, and I think Trent is a very safe and nailed pick. But moving on to our next defender, a little bit more controversial, and it is Reece James. Chelsea, the reason I've included Reece James is obviously yesterday, the 3-0 loss, it wasn't great, was it? It wasn't a good performance from Chelsea. There wasn't many encouraging signs. Reece James as well has been playing at right centre-back, which is not what we want, especially when we're paying like 6.1 million for him now. But Chelsea honestly have the best fixture run till the World Cup. So if you are using this early wildcard, then I think you've got to have at least one, maybe even 2 Chelsea players within kind of your wildcard. Obviously, it's a little bit difficult at the moment as they just don't look amazing. There's no real standout players going forward. It is kind of more in the back line that kind of the options are kind of appearing. And I do believe Reece James is the best option. So let's just read some of the fixtures. Leicester, Southampton, West Ham, Fulham, Liverpool in Game Week 8. But then it just goes on. Crystal Palace, Wolves, Aston Villa, Brentford, Man United, Brighton, Arsenal and Newcastle all the way up to the World Cup. Absolutely scintillating fixtures. If Reece James as well can get himself back into that right wing back spot, that will open so many opportunities as well for his attacking potential, because when he has gone into that position, he scored a goal. So I think there's going to have to be some tinkering within that Chelsea side to get the best out of their fullbacks, and pushing Reece James back up to right wing back is a key part of why Chelsea were doing so well. But I think just down to the fact that they've got amazing long-term fixtures, I would include Reece James in your draft, but just do be careful and maybe keep an eye out on other options. I think Cucurella at left wing back, Ben Chilwell, if he can start to get himself back into that side as well, could be amazing options if you want to go for the double up. But let's move on to our third defender within the team, and it is Ivan Perisic. Obviously, a lot of people included him on their drafts for kind of game week 1, and then the news kind of broke that he wasn't going to start, he isn't fit, and yeah, it all kind of spiraled from there. He moved out of my team, and I brought Saka in, which didn't go well. But despite the fact of only starting one game, he is currently the 7th highest scoring defender within the game. He's also got the highest amount of expected assists among defenders and 8th among all players within the game. Some of them numbers he's putting up are honestly insane. At 5.4 million as well, I think his price is going to increase tonight. Spurs have patchy fixtures up to the World Cup, but some really good next 3, Nottingham Forest, West Ham and Fulham. Perisic as well does take both corners from both sides with both feet. Absolutely amazing for FPL. I do think this man is going to be absolutely explosive, and I think he could be a template breaker and really start to see him smash into people's teams. As well, Spurs have started the season really strong, looking good at the back as well, so the clean sheet potential is definitely there. The only risk and concern is the depth that Spurs have within that wing-back position. They've got so many quality players that they can rotate. Obviously, Champions League football and cup football is starting to come back as well, so we will see a little bit more rotation. But down to the fact that this man has only played one game and has the highest expected assists, like, it's honestly amazing what he can do when he starts games. So I think he's worth that little bit of a risk, worth that little bit of a gamble. But moving on to our final defender, it is João Cancelo. A little bit of a bonus point magnet within the first few games. City as well they're just a great defence, aren't they? Obviously, yesterday, I think that result was a little bit of a blip. Newcastle did amazingly well, but I do think there will be kind of a return to the normality. Manchester City keeping clean sheets, and with the fixtures they've got coming up, Crystal Palace, Nottingham Forest, Aston Villa, Tottenham, Wolves, Man United, Southampton in the next kind of 5 to 6. You're going to expect City to keep a lot of clean sheets. I think João Cancelo as well is going to get some attacking returns in there, pardon me, as well. And I also think João Cancelo is probably the most nailed City defender as well. We saw Ruben Diaz yesterday dropped as well, which, yeah, a lot of people have him in their side or kind of have him on the double up. I think as well with the new left back they signed from Anderlecht, was it as well? I do believe that Walker potentially will see a lot less game time as well. I think João Cancelo has such a big impact on this squad that Pep is not going to drop him. So that is why I've selected him. Good fixtures. We all know what he's about. Very solid back line. Let me know what you think of it. Have I missed any players from that side? But moving on to the midfield. Moving on to our midfield, of course, we're going to start with this man. It is, of course, Mohamed Salah. Again, very similar to Trent. It hasn't been the best start for Liverpool. Obviously, I'm filming this before the United game as well, so Salah could have just scored 4, as he usually does against Manchester United. So far, 14 points, 1 goal and 1 assist coming in the Fulham game, but he never does anything in game week 2, does he, Salah? Amazing fixtures coming up as well. Game week 4, Bournemouth at home. Very much captaincy material there for Salah. Newcastle, Everton as well, Wolves, some really good fixtures. And then kind of after game week 8, game week 9, it does get a little bit more spotty with Manchester City, kind of Arsenal, Tottenham, but then you've also got Leeds, Southampton, Forest. So it's kind of a little bit of a mixed variation, but I do believe Salah is that good that he could just play in any of them games and easily have a massive impact on the game. I think as well, Nunez's red card will make him a lot more kind of appetizing, especially tonight. It'll be interesting to see how they line up with Firmino in the side. I think obviously when Núñez is kind of in the side, Salah can't drift more central because Núñez is that threat and he's kind of occupying that space, meaning that Salah kind of drifts more wide, gets more assists, I do believe, when Núñez will play. But with Firmino in that side or Jota, I do think that he'll potentially get more goals rather than assists. So yeah, easy captaincy pick for most game weeks is Mohamed Salah. Not the best start for Liverpool so far this season, but I do believe they will recover. They're a very good side, full of very, very talented players as well. Obviously, a little bit of an injury crisis at the moment for them, but once that kind of passes and fades, I do believe their FPL options will be amazing yet again. But let's move on to our next midfielder. It is Gabriel Martinelli. Obviously, one of the best budget mids so far this season. If you picked him from the start, well done. Commiserations to all the Saka owners out there thinking he would do better. Absolute idiotic decision from people like that. So far, 2 goals, 1 assist, 22 points, double what Saka has got so far, and is at £1.5 million cheaper as well. Really good fixtures coming up: Fulham, Aston Villa, Manchester United, Everton, Brentford, and then it does go into Tottenham, Liverpool, Leeds, Manchester City. So it does fall away after that, but I think at that point we will potentially be looking to move him on. There will be another emerging kind of team or fixtures or another player around that price point, but for the moment, I do believe for the next few game weeks he is a really, really good option. Obviously as well, cup competitions and Europa League are coming in for Arsenal, so I do believe we will see a little bit more rotation within their side. Emile Smith-Rowe potentially could win himself his spot back within this side, but I think Martinelli has done enough at the moment to warrant being that starting player. I think Saka's position is more up for grabs over Martinelli. Very good player, getting yourself into one of the best attacking sides this season so far as well for 6.4, I think he is at now. Absolute steal. So a real must buy and a must have in my game week for Wildcard. Moving on, we go to the highest scoring player within FPL at the moment, and it is Rodrigo from Leeds United. The man just can't stop scoring, can he? Absolutely phenomenal. I included him in one of my transfer target videos the other week as an avoid because I just didn't think it could keep going. But he is starting to put up some good underlying data to go with the performances as well. Second most shots in the Premier League, only behind Gabriel Jesus. Jesus has 15, Rodrigo has 13, 35 points so far, 4 goals and 1 assist. And Leeds fixtures up till around game week 10 are absolutely delicious. Brighton, Everton, Brentford, Nottingham Forest, Manchester United, Aston Villa and Crystal Palace. I think sometimes it is worth just jumping on these form players, especially at the price he is as well. He's not too expensive, around that 6. I think he's gone up to 6.3 now, but I think you've just kind of got to get on the Rodrigo hype train while the fixtures are good, and you could potentially shift him or look to move him on if kind of his performances do dwindle. Obviously, Patrick Bamford coming in the side as well, back into the side as well after injury, will potentially impact where he plays within that side and could lead to potentially, I don't know what I just did with my breath there, but could potentially lead to less attacking returns for him. But I still think we've got to get on that Rodrigo hype train. I think you've just, especially at the start of the season, it's very similar to kind of Ben Rama hype train last year. If you got on it early and got the points from it, it was amazing. If you were kind of towards the end, it wasn't great. I do think with these fixtures, Rodrigo will continue to keep up the output. Maybe not at the same pace as he is doing at the moment, because I think he's on like a record-breaking pace at the moment, the way he's going for Leeds United. But yeah, very interesting player, really like him, really good fixtures coming up. But let's move on to our free forwards within the side. And moving on to our first forward, it is Erling Haaland. 24 points, 3 goals, 1 assist. Highest expected points among forwards as well. And some very, very tasty fixtures that could potentially make him a captaincy worthy. Game week 5, Nottingham Forest. Game week 6, Aston Villa. Very, very good fixtures for City coming up. But before I did start filming, I did see a quote from Pep saying when obviously midweek fixtures start to kick in, he is going to rest Haaland. That is a major concern for me. I think at the moment, put him in for now. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure on Haaland anymore. I've put him in for the moment. we'll just see how that kind of rotation works, because he could be saying that and he could still come on, and the quality of Haaland as well, he could still absolutely destroy some defences. But it is a massive, massive concern when we are paying 11.7 million for his services. So a little bit of a worry when Pep says things like that, especially with his tendency as well to rotate players. But you can easily obviously just switch him out for Kane, or maybe you could move KDB into this side and go for a cheaper option up front. I do like Haaland. I do think he's been putting up some really good performances. I think he could have even got more goals. I think a lot of people are expecting kind of outlandish things from him. Obviously, he's got that record of doing unbelievable things, but within 3 games, he's got 3 goals and 1 assist. So he's still doing pretty well. I think people have just got some unrealistic expectations for him so far in the Premier League. But yeah, he's in for now, but just make sure, just kind of verify what Pep has said and look into that a little bit more, because that is a major concern if he is going to be started to rotated. But let's move on to a player who ain't going to be rotated, and it is Ivan Toney. And Ivan Toney has been honestly absolutely killing it for me and within my team as well. I brought him in for game week 3. Honestly, I was absolutely buzzing watching his performance. It's great owning a player that kind of not many people own. You get a real buzz, especially when they do amazing, and Ivan Toney is one of those players at the moment for me. Had a great game against Fulham as well, scored 1 and had 2 disallowed, and is currently the joint top scoring forward in FPL. 2 goals, 2 assists, 25 points. He's on penalties as well, and Brentford have some really, really good fixtures as well. Everton, Crystal Palace, Leeds, Southampton, Arsenal, Bournemouth, Newcastle and Brighton. So pretty good fixtures up till kind of game week 11. Then they face Chelsea. But then after that, it's Aston Villa, Wolves and Nottingham Forest. So you could really hold him till the World Cup. And with the way kind of Toney plays, I think he could score against some of the top teams as well. He's on penalties as well, and they're kind of so sporadic and so random that could happen in one of the big games. That Everton game, yeah, Everton have been really, really bad at the back, so I'm expecting some amazing things from Ivan Toney. I think now's the time to jump on him, and I think he could be a real differential and a massive rank booster if you can get him within your side, because he's honestly just going to absolutely smash it. He's played really, really well so far. The fixtures are looking good as well, so I think now is the time to jump on Toney, and that is why I've included him in this wildcard. Moving on to our final player, it is Gabriel Jesus. It would honestly be absolutely FPL rank suicide if you didn't have this man within your team. I think it's over 80% owned now. Arsenal have kind of good fixtures up till around game week 9, and then it kind of falls off a cliff with Tottenham, Liverpool and Manchester City within a 4-week kind of game period. But at that point, we potentially could move him on or keep paying him, because, you know, he is only 8 million. He's not too expensive, but you could move him out for a couple of game weeks. Obviously, joint top scoring forward as well. Had a wonderful game against Bournemouth where he only picked up an assist but had a goal disallowed and could have easily scored more. Fulham at home and Aston Villa at home in the next 2. Definitely captaincy worth material there if Salah doesn't look great against Manchester United tonight. So very, very interesting for Gabriel Jesus. I know a lot of people went for captaining him this game week and were disappointed with the results, but it was marginally unlucky. It was very similar to Haaland against Bournemouth last game week as well, where just the slightest little bit of margin and he's hauled, and you're very, very happy with his performance. But really good fixtures. Gabriel Jesus absolutely killing it, and what differentiates him from most other forwards is he's got that assist potential as well. He's not just a forward, he drifts into these wider positions, links up the play so well, and that is why he is in our team. But before we go, let's quickly run through the bench. Ward in goal, obviously 4 million pick, playing regular fixtures. Yeah, I have him in my team. I'm not 100% thrilled by his performances. Led to 2 goals from his own errors. Nico Williams is the next defender who has been putting up some absolutely crazy underlying data. Most shots among defenders. Like, woof. And yeah, he's looked really, really good. His expected points as well are massively above what he's achieved so far. The Forest defense doesn't look amazing, but at 4 million, we're getting a very, very attacking kind of fullback. I'm very happy to play him when Forest's fixtures are good. I played him this week. I was very unlucky, and he was very unlucky not to come away with potentially an attacking return or a clean sheet. Then the midfield, we've got Andreas, obviously. Great week for him this week. 8 points, an assist and bonus points for him. Looks very tidy and looks like he's got a good partnership with Mitrovic as well. There was a few times where they were feeding each other the balls, so very encouraging to see. And then we've gone for Lavia from Southampton for our second £4.5 million midfielder. He's played 90 minutes in every single game, so I think that's all you can really ask from one of these kind of 4.5 million players. He's going to be third some most weeks because I prefer Williams and Andreas, but he's playing 90 minutes week in, week out. Let me know what you thought of today's wildcard team. Is it something that you'd be tempted to do? Have I missed any important players out? Please let me know down in the comments below. If you need any help with wildcarding or any transfers, let me know down in the comments below, as I do reply to all comments there. If you did enjoy today's video, please like, comment and subscribe, and good luck for the upcoming game week.